This is the best free AI vibe coding tool and nobody's heard of it. In this video, I'm going to show you how it works, how to use it, how to get access completely for free, and the right use cases to use it for if it's your first time vibe coding. But first, what is this vibe coding thing that everybody's talking about? You may have heard of Lovable, V0, and Replit, and basically they allow non-technical folks to build fully working websites, web apps, and in some cases mobile apps without having to know how to code. Type in a prompt here, for example, create an internal tool or create an internal dashboard or create a landing page or create a simple web app that does this, and AI will create a plan to code it for you, and you'll see in real time what it looks like. These are some of the most popular tools like Lovable, V0, and Replit, but one of the major complaints with all of them is that you run out of credits very quickly, especially if you're a beginner and you're not quite sure the right way to prompt AI. You get stuck on nasty bugs that are really, really hard to fix, and your AI is going in circles and circles and circles, and as a result, you burn all of your credits for the month. Now, there are open source alternatives. For example, Bolt.new is open source. Vibe SDK is a newer open source alternative. However, if you're non-technical, this looks pretty intimidating to figure out how to set up. It's amazing that they're open source. Huge fan of open source, but if you're a non-technical beginner trying to learn this stuff, it's non-trivial for you to figure out how to deploy this for yourself. So what I've done is taken it a step further. I've taken this open source toolkit, Vibe SDK. In my previous YouTube video, I actually showed you how to deploy it step by step for yourself on Cloudflare, and I've taken it a step further. Even beyond that, I've opened this up for anyone to sign up for and use for themselves. The neat thing about Vibe SDK is that it fully utilizes the developer ecosystem of this very big tech company called Cloudflare. So it includes things like front end, back end, databases, AI providers, storage, and scalable deployment. Completely out of the box, meaning I didn't have to manually code that myself to be able to offer this free vibe coding tool. So how do you get access to this free vibe coding tool, and how does it work? I'm going to walk through all of that in this introductory video. Open up a browser and navigate to FreeVibeCode.ai. This is the name. You should see a really large sign, 100% free vibe coding. This is fully supported and budgeted by me, and my goal here is just to make vibe coding more accessible to folks, to give you a free platform where you can experiment and prototype without worrying about running out of credits, or maybe you've already run out of credits in one of the major platforms and you can continue experimenting and prototyping here. Now, I can't make it infinitely available because then I would literally run out of money, but I'm making it freely available to everyone up to a certain monthly budget that is spread across all users. So there may be some months that there's a lot of usage and I hit that max budget. There may be other months where there isn't that much usage and you can just use it for free the entire month. Once you're here, it looks pretty much the same as the other apps. All you have to do is type the prompt for what you want to build today. Okay, it is going to ask you to sign up before using it. Sign in the top right corner and then click continue with Google. Once you're in, you should have your profile picture here visible in the top right corner. You can always go to settings and check out the different options here. To see all the projects you're currently working on, expand this left bar section here, and to start a new app, just click new build. Now, I normally recommend talking with ChatGPT or Claude to figure out your initial specs, or some people call it a PRD, product requirements document. What are you building? Why are you building? What is the simplest feature set in your initial first version? How do you expect it to be implemented? I generally recommend having that discussion with ChatGPT or Claude, simplifying the scope of your first version as much as possible, because vibe coding tools today it's really tough to build super complex apps. So you want to start with simpler websites, simpler web apps, simpler mobile apps. Once you've figured out your product requirements document, or PRD, with ChatGPT or Claude, then you would paste it here and get started. But for the sake of this video, I actually wanted to showcase the power of this free vibe coding tool, even if you do not have a detailed spec at all. I'm just going to give a very, very simple prompt. We're just going to clone LinkedIn and see how far this platform can get without any other context. So go ahead and press enter, and now it's going to start, and you're going to see its thinking process here. If you're familiar with other tools like Lovable, then this should look familiar as well. First, it's going to bootstrap the project, which means creating the initial set of code, the scaffolding. Next, it's generating a blueprint, which is the plan or strategy of attack, and you can actually see its complete blueprint, which is really neat. Next, it's going to generate code in multiple phases. It's going to review and fix the code, and then you're going to see a live preview of the app itself. So right now it's bootstrapping the project, just setting up the initial stuff it needs to get started. And now it's generating the blueprints, which is going to be its implementation strategy. So it's going to be called the Link Sphere, Professional Networking Reimagined. And here are the different views, like what the user will be able to see, their profile, home feed, jobs, connections. Here's the user flow, so the layout, UI design, spec, user journey. Here's the intended data flow, and then the implementation roadmap. Now, if it goes back to the code, but you want to check the blueprint again, you can just click blueprint.md here, so we can go back to reading what it's going to do. So scrolling down here to the implementation roadmap, you can see it's 3 different phases. Number 1, the visual, core layout, and data display. Phase 2 is creating some mock data content. And phase 3 is the final polish and refinement. This even goes into detail everything that's included in phase 1, including all these files that are going to be created and possible pitfalls, likely pitfalls in this process. And you can see on the left-hand side how it matches up to this phase 1, right? It's like going to create all these files that it said it would, and it's in this initial phase 1 out of 3. So here it says generating code 0 out of 3 phases. Now, when you initially start your project, this first prompt, however long it may be, can take 10 up to 15 minutes because it's going to go through this really, really detailed planning process and then implement things step by step and then review the code, look for any issues, fix those issues again and again until all issues are fixed. So I generally don't play around too much with the preview until this entire process is complete, meaning don't type another prompt until this entire initial process is complete. And you'll know it's complete when it says generating code and all the phases are complete. Okay, here it just said it finished implementing phase 1, the visual foundation, core layout, and data display. Okay, and now it's loading the preview here, just like this. Okay, so this is pretty neat, and it's using some of my sample data, Sabrina Ramonov, AI researcher and quantum computing enthusiast. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It's set it up with some mock data, and it pretty much looks like LinkedIn already. Now it's entering the next phase, which is content creation and setting up some connections. So it's implementing these components like creating a post, looking at connections, looking at the messaging page. While it's doing that, let me just show you around what else you can do. So you can switch back and forth between the preview and the code itself. So if you just want to see the code being generated, you can go ahead and click this, or go back to the preview, click this. This is the name that it decided to give your app. This link over here is a shareable link for your preview. So go ahead and click that and then paste it into a new tab, and you'll be able to see and play around with your app at this link. You can share it with your teammates. You can share it with potential users and get feedback on it. So it's pretty neat. This refresh button will just refresh the preview. This button, model info, will show you what AI model you're currently using. In our case, it's Google AI Studio Gemini. And this button, GitHub, I haven't set up yet, but this will allow you to export the entire code base to GitHub. Like I said in the beginning, I'm going to offer this free vibe coding platform up to a monthly limit, but it's spread across everyone. So it's not tied to your particular account. If I hit the limit for the month, you still have the option to export the code base out of this platform and continue working on it using another AI coding tool, such as Claude Code, which is my favorite right now. And then this button here is just to go full screen with the preview. I'll show you around some other things as well. So now it's reviewing phase 3 interactive features and UI polish. And then the very last phase is implementing finalization and review. During this part, it will often find some bugs and issues. So that will also take some time to fix. So just keep that in mind. So just some things up here. If you are interested in free AI courses, prompts, automations, and tutorials, go ahead and click start. This will redirect you to my email newsletter, which you can get totally for free. Okay. That's where all my good stuff is, so I do recommend subscribing to that. If you want to switch from dark mode to light mode, click this moon icon and just click light. Okay, if you want to go to your settings, you can click your profile icon and click settings. If you want to see previous apps you've built, go ahead and click this button on the top left corner to expand it. And this is also where you can start new projects. Just click new build. And when you prompt AI, let's say you don't like the look of this, you can actually do things like take a screenshot of a design you like and drop it in here. Click this image icon, drop the screenshot in here, and tell the AI vibe coding tool, hey, I want my app to look more like this. Okay, now it's completed finalization and review, and now it's in the phase of reviewing and fixing code, which is great. So again, I really wouldn't touch this view preview button until everything's done. And I wouldn't type another prompt again until everything's done, because this initial piece where it's bootstrapping the entire project, generating that initial strategy, going through the strategy step by step, it honestly takes 10 to 15 minutes, and you're just gonna have a much smoother experience if you let it do its entire thing, wait for it to be fully complete, and then start iterating by telling it what you want to tweak next. And while it's reviewing fixing code, you can still poke around the preview, right? So this is the home screen. It looks like I can type a post here. Okay, I click my network. This is people you may know, so that's pretty cool. Looks pretty much just like LinkedIn. I'm not sure if it filled out the job section. Oh, okay. So there's even some mock data job openings listed here. And then if we click messaging, it has some sample data for the messaging, which is pretty cool already. Okay, now it looks like everything's done. Let's go back to home and poke around. So let's say, hi, my name is Sabrina. Let's see if that posts. Okay, it says posting. Oh, okay. It actually posted, which is great. Okay, so let's see if I can like this. I can like my own post. Okay, let's see someone else's post. Can I comment on this? So here you see I can't comment on it. So what you might want to do next as you're building this out is be like, okay, now let's implement the commenting functionality. Let's go to messaging and see if that works. So Alex Chen messaged me. Sounds good. Let's sync up tomorrow afternoon. How about blue bottle coffee? Okay, see if that sends. Okay, so this message is not sending. So let's say we want to implement this next. So this will be our next feature. Implements the messaging feature so that I do messages and get image. Okay, now what it's going to do is analyze my new request. So now it says I'll implement the messaging feature so you can reply to messages, blah, blah, blah. I'll have that ready in the next phase or two. And you can see this started up again, right? So before it wasn't saying anything because it was already done, but now it's conceptualizing and envisioning and strategizing how to implement my new feature request. And now you can see here it added another phase. So implementing phase 5, interactive messaging. And you can click any of these files, by the way, if you are technical and you want to take a look at what it's actually coding, you can click any of these files. Now, if you have a lot of prompts here, this can get a little bit unwieldy, where you'll have a prompt here, but then the actual plan and what it's doing, you have to scroll up a little bit to see it here. But just keep that in mind. So if you do have like a lot of prompts here, you'll want to scroll up to see what it's actually doing at the moment. So now it's implementing the messaging page. It looks like it's done with a bunch of these things, and now it's reviewing what it's implemented and hopefully fixing any issues. I'm going to click the eye icon to go back to our preview. And by the way, if the screen is blank like this, that just means like the preview is still loading, especially if it's in the middle of making any code changes. So don't freak out if you see kind of that it blank. It's actually coding at the moment and hasn't refreshed the app yet. Okay, and then it decided to add a phase 6, which I did not ask for, but let's see what it's doing. It says it's going to implement search, commenting, and final polish, which again, I didn't ask for this, but the AI agent here is supposed to be kind of intelligent and taking initiative on implementing the things that are missing when I say clone LinkedIn. But definitely be careful during vibe coding in case your AI agent is starting to do things that you don't want it to do. So I'll just wait for this phase to finish and then we'll play around with the app one last time. Okay, looks like it's done with everything. And again, you can tell because it's completed all of the phases for code generation. There's nothing thinking here. There's no thinking icon that it's still working or anything like that. So let's go to messaging first and try that out. Okay, so we have that from Alex Chen. And then let me try how about blue bottle coffee. Okay, awesome. So my message sends to Alex Chen now. And let's see what else it supposedly implemented. So comments. Okay, so let's go back here. And then remember before we were trying to leave a comment. So let's see if we can do that now. Yo. Oh, and you can see other comments as well. That's cool. Okay, so I just added a comment and I liked the post. I don't know if this search feature will work. I don't know what it will search for. Oh, okay. So it's searched for people on LinkedIn. Maria Garcia, who's a product manager in AI machine learning at Cloudflare. Okay. Let's see what this icon does. Okay. So this takes us to the home page. So that's pretty cool. So just in a matter of minutes, it implemented messaging, then it implemented search, and also implemented commenting on posts, which I didn't ask for, but I'm impressed that it actually did it. The key things I want to reemphasize when using this free vibe coding tool is number one, be patient, like let it do its thing. The first time, it's going to take like up to 15 minutes to actually properly plan, strategize everything out, implement everything phase by phase, check for bugs, fix bugs, etc. Don't just like slam it with lots and lots and lots of prompts here until everything's done. And then when everything's done and you want to add additional features or fix things in your app, just take it one step at a time here. So I said one step, implement this feature so that I can do this. And that's it. Don't ask for anything else. Although it did surprise me by also implementing search and comments, which thankfully worked. But in general, try to just do one small feature at a time. I'm also curious if some other things work here. Like if I go to profile, oh, okay. Oh, cool. So I can see my whole profile. I mean, this pretty much looks just like LinkedIn. LinkedIn hasn't changed its UI in a decade, so looks the same to me. Let's go to settings. Okay, settings doesn't work. People you may know. Okay. Can I click connect? Oh, okay. And now it's pending. Oh, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, just other random things there I didn't even notice. But yeah, as a last step, let's click this view preview button. Now, you don't really need to click this button. Like I said, you have the preview here. You can go full screen with the preview, right? Like you can do all of your testing here. Remember this link I showed you as well. Like copy this link and you can already share this link, this prototype with your team, with potential customers, etc., and get feedback, right? However, if you do want a slightly more human readable preview link, just click view preview. And now this is going to basically generate a unique preview URL that you can also share with your team and potential customers. Okay, and when it says preview ready, so here's the URL, which you can copy or you can open the preview. Okay, like this. That's not that much better of a URL, but if you click make it public, then you'll get like a really nice link, FreeVibeCode.ai with the app ID here. So it's not like that much better of a name, but it's slightly more human readable than the link here. And then, oh, I just clicked make public. And what this means now is other users of FreeVibeCode.ai, like this vibe coding platform, can also check out your app, right? So here they can now bookmark your app, they can star your app. So this is a really neat way to just share apps you're building, inspire other builders as well, and get inspiration by looking at what other people have built. So now if you go to Discover down here on the bottom left corner, you will see apps built by the community. And this free vibe coding tool is brand new, so it doesn't have that many apps built by the community yet. But as more people make their apps publicly available, you'll see more and more apps over here in the Discover section. That's pretty much it how to use this tool, but let's wrap up talking about use cases. Where do I think vibe coding makes sense and where does it not make sense? As many of you know, I'm building my own SaaS app and it's already a complex existing code base. I don't vibe code with it. So I use Claude Code and it's very much like a co-pilot in AI assisted programming where I'm driving the process. And that's because the code base is so complex that if AI makes a change that I'm not aware of, that I don't understand, it could easily introduce a bug that breaks the experience for existing users. The reason I bring that up is I'm very bullish on vibe coding, but I don't view it the same as AI assisted coding with a complex existing product. You have to be really, really, really careful not to push code that you don't understand, that breaks stuff which you also don't understand, and you have a lot of trouble debugging it because you don't understand anything. Where I think vibe coding shines the best is in building simpler apps. For example, informational websites, landing pages, simple apps with just a few features. Even though we got pretty far with this LinkedIn clone, right? It's been less than 30 minutes and it's implemented a bunch of stuff already. I don't recommend starting with something this complex unless you have a technical background. So I would encourage you to start by building kind of simpler websites, maybe a directory showcasing information, simpler apps that just have one or a few core important features, and leverage this free vibe coding tool to like get really good at clarifying what it is you want. That's one of the biggest learning experience when you actually start vibe coding. It forces you to clarify your product vision, your spec, your MVP, and also learn how to simplify your vision into something you can actually build, which is a tremendously useful skill. Basically, don't do what I did and just try to clone LinkedIn from the start, again, unless you're technical. Because if you are technical, you can now export this entire code base and then run with it using Claude Code as it becomes more and more complex. So yeah, just to recap, get access to it here, FreeVibeCode.ai. I will make it for free for everybody up to a certain billing amount per month. And then after that, it's just going to refresh the next month. Okay. That's the best I could do at the moment since I'm just personally funding this. And be patient in the process. Let the AI agent do its thing. You're going to have messed up results if you try to like stop it in the middle of what it's doing. Just let it follow its plan, execute, let it think, give it breathing room, and then take it one little feature at a time. Test one little feature at a time. Test. If you enjoyed this video, please hit like, subscribe, drop a comment below, and share it with your friends and family.